Hello, welcome. I'm Audrey. This is low sensory, adaptive, gentle seated. I can't even remember the name of this class. With Mind Body Solutions. I'm really glad that you're here for another class. Um, so today we're gonna have our monthly full moon practice because the full moon will be on Sunday. So we're gonna explore a little bit of connecting to that energy. And as we've been chatting for a little while, I thought we could do with just a little bit of movement before we go into the centering. So maybe just like having a big stretch, if you like, or just a gentle sway from side to side, just a few seconds just to maybe find our seat so that we are just a little bit more comfortable getting into. So we'll do the usual, the centering, the slow movements, and then we'll go into restorative guided meditation. So maybe just connecting with your spine for a little bit, just some gentle movement for 5 more seconds. If that doesn't call to you, you can already go and find a comfortable shape of your choice, whether that's seated or lying down. You could also carry on moving in whichever way feels good to you today. And then when you're ready, connect with that seat, as in the root of your spine. Maybe if you're lying down, that's more your back or the side of the body. Maybe that's the sole of your feet. Anything that's connecting you to your support the seat, the chair, the floor, the bed. Maybe your eyes are closed or you're finding a soft gaze away from the screen. And maybe let's take a moment to relax a little bit the muscles of the face, the inside of the mouth, the tongue. Anything that doesn't need to really be involved in this moment. We're not talking. I'm talking, but you're not. Maybe any clenching, any tension in the body that you may sense already, that could do with some release. Anything that will help you to arrive here in this body minds, just as it is, in this present moment, just as it is, in your space, just as it is. And the important word here is present. So we're not thinking about what happened before started practice, not thinking about what will happen later on, whether that's exciting or not. We can leave it for a little bit longer and give our mind a break, give our body a break, and aim to be present the best way that we can find today. That might be with keeping that connection with your seat, with the support, or starting to connect with your breath. which is also a form of support. So connecting with the inhales, the exhales, the pauses in between. Maybe noticing the movement it creates in your body. Noticing the pace, the rhythm. Knowing that this breath is there to support you fully, bringing energy to all of your cells. On the inhales and on the exhales, it's releasing, making space so that you can invite that energy with the inhale, and then the exhale, it's releasing that beautiful cycle. Maybe taking a note of what's your experience in this moment with that breath, or body sensations, or what's happening in your mind. And as usual, with that, taking on the role of the curious observer, aware from all the voices of judgment, aware from the should, the could, aware from the binaries of good and bad and right and wrong. But rather with curiosity and compassion for yourself and your experience. And so maybe what you hearing from your body mind from this experience is that you need to stay here in stillness and quiet, maybe not even listening to what I'm saying, just having some time to rest and be quiet. And if what you are hearing is, I need a little bit of movement, then I invite you to find your own expression of movement for a few minutes. And maybe that's just holding the head side to side, holding the shoulders, holding the wrists. That's really good idea. Holding the eyes. Why not? And we are honoring the full moon today, so maybe doing some Uda Astanasan, half moon, which could be similar to side bends. You could do one arm, no arm, two arms, finding your own expression of half moon. You could stay a few breaths into this pose. You could do some kind of movement, so rolling the spine a little and looking up. And trying to do both sides if you are doing this pose. Still keeping that connection with your breath, with your seat, as best as you can, with ease and compassion. There's finding movement that will release any stagnant energy or add some spaciousness into the body. Anything that sounds good to you right now. You know the drill. I'm gonna do Utkata Konasan, goddess. That's really good to open the chest and then give some relief as well to the upper back. So basically opening up here, getting the shoulder blades together. You could add the arms if you like. Could be one arm, two arms, no arm. Find your own version. There's no right and wrong here either. And then maybe bringing the palms together or like finding a rolling of the shoulders towards the front of the room. I'm basically doing this because I've got a lot of tension in my shoulders at the moment. And I find that this kind of movement brings some relief physically. And that then, if I need to find some stillness and some rest and also connect with my breath, really opens up the chest, the lungs. But again, you do what you want to do for another minute or so. Or if you're already in stillness, then that's great. We'll join you in a minute. So I'm seeing some people doing eagle arms and some back bends. Forward folds, rolling the head, all look really good. So just giving you some ideas if you would like some. And then when you're ready, finding some stillness if you like, or you can continue with the movement. Maybe finding, if you want some stillness, then finding restorative shape of your choice, whether that's Shavasana, lying on your back, on the side, or on the belly. Or you can stay seated for Shavasana as well, bringing some support for your spine and your head would be really good. You could also go into forward fold, so bringing your forehead towards your knees as far as you like. It could look like basically getting the chin towards the chest. That's a really good forward fold. It could be child's pose, legs up the wall. Please bring as many props, any support that you like that will bring you more towards a restful space. So that could be a blanket to cover yourself, could be an eye mask, could be a light scarf on top of your eyes. It could be pillows underneath your knees, underneath your feet, underneath your head. Could be one in between your knees if you're lying on the side. It could be holding a pillow as well against your chest. That brings quite a lot of comfort, some semblance of protection, and some relief for the shoulders. If you're lying on your back, you could bring a pillow on top of your belly. That is really comforting. Taking your time to find that shape, knowing that you can move at any point, you can change it at any point you like. This is your practice. So I may not guide you towards that, but know that this is always an option. And then when you're there, again, your eyes might be closed or finding a soft gaze, connecting back to the support of your bed, the seat, and ultimately the earth. Connecting again to your breath, that full cycle of breath, the inhale, the exhale, and the pause in between. And so we're gonna connect with the full moon, which happens on Sunday, so we're a little bit ahead of time, but maybe that's something that you can revisit on Sunday. And it's the big spirit moon in Ojibwe tradition, Amnidun's Guzu. And that full spirit moon is the last one of the cycle that will start again in January. But as this one is the last one of the moon cycles, it really asks us to reflect on what happened this past cycle. And so you may choose to focus on the last cycle of breath, or that last minute, or that last hour, that last day, that last week. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the last year. So we're taking some time to honor our growth, what we learned, unlearned this past cycle, and maybe celebrate and give some gratitude for for all this time that we've had. It is asking us to connect to our big spirits, so all of us as one. And then it's also asking us what we are dreaming into being for the upcoming cycle. So again, it can be the cycle of breath. Maybe I'd like to take a fuller, deeper breath for the next day. Tomorrow, I'd like to be full of beans and do all the things that I want to do. For the next week, I'd love to invite more rest. Or the next year, it really illuminates all the possibilities, the discoveries, maybe the questions, the paths that's ahead. So that's two big questions. It's reflecting and dreaming. So to do so, I'd like to invite you to visualize or experience yourself in nature, in a green space of your own choice. And there's a path in front of you that is going to guide you there. And so with each inhale and each exhale that you take, the path is taking you deep, deep, deep into this green space. And as you move, you start to see the perfect place for you to rest. Maybe it's real, maybe it's from your imagination, maybe it's both, but it's perfect for you. The temperature is just good, the noise level is just good, the textures, the light, the smells, everything is perfection, as if this space was just made for you. And so you could rest there for a while. In this space, maybe you're lying down on the sand or on the moss, the green grass, just taking some time to notice what's happening around you. What is it that you hear? What is it that you can see? What is it that you can smell or touch? And just resting here for a while in this place of perfection for yourself. Maybe there are some friends around, whether they're human or animals, your kin, maybe your ancestors or teachers, maybe some spirit guides. Anything you want to bring in, you can. And then if you like, you can come back to these two questions. reflecting, taking some time to honor your growth from this past cycle and celebrating that and giving some gratitude. It doesn't have to come up as words or sentences. It could just be a feeling. It could just be images or, sometimes it just comes up as an emotion or something like that. That's okay. And then the other question is, what do you want to dream into being for this upcoming cycle? And again, doesn't have to come up as words. Maybe it's just intuitive. It just comes up in your heart. So I'm gonna leave you with these two things. Or you could also, third option is resting in this space of yours and breathing and enjoying this time of rest. So I'm gonna create some space for silence for a few minutes, and then we'll be back together to close the practice. Taking some soft, deep breaths, enjoying the space you're in. The colors, the light, comfort it gives. And then offering gratitude for this space. This space that's always within you whenever you need it. And then the path appears again. And you follow it. And come back softly. With each inhale and each exhale, follow the path. And then when you're ready, focusing your attention on your heart center, you may place your hand on top of each other, an Anjali Mudra, where you pose, arms against each other, thumbs against the heart, as a gesture of gratitude. Gratitude for ourselves, for showing up just as we are with life, just as it is. Gratitude for this community, for all of us here practicing together, for all the wisdom, the laughter, the support. Gratitude for these sacred practices of yoga and our teachers, and all practitioners before us who are protected with practices so that we can still benefit from them today. Gratitude for the earth for holding us and supporting us, and the ancestors and indigenous stewards of this land for protecting it. And gratitude for the moon, for its energies and all it does for us as well, for the inspiration and the creativity that comes from the moon. And then you may add any other words of gratitude of your own choice. You may also wish to dedicate some or all of the merit of this practice to a being, a group of beings, a cause, a land that could do with some extra support right now. And to service intention, I'll offer a blessing of metta, loving kindness, which you may join or list. Inhale to begin. May all beings everywhere with no limits, including ourselves, be happy, be well, be safe, and free from harm and suffering. May all beings live with ease. May all beings live at peace. May all beings be free and liberated. And stay here if you'd like to carry on with this practice of rest and connecting with the moon and everything else. Or if you're ready, you could add some gentle movement back into the body, maybe a gentle stretch this way, or maybe welcoming back the light, picking the eyes open. Is movement enough? Coming back into your space and coming back to one another. taking your time. And then all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for showing up. I acknowledge the effort that it takes every single week. And I applaud you for that. So thank you so much. See you soon.